difference of two squares or dots. So as I've mentioned in our first video, so we have several steps on how to factor polynomials. So we're good with the first step using CMF. And now we will now move forward to the second step. So this time you will just look at the number of terms of the polynomial. So after identifying the number of terms, if there are two terms, that means it's a binomial. So if it's a binomial, you have two options, whether dots or SDTC. So that means difference of two squares. But the question is, how will you know that you should use dots as a method? So look at the following examples. We are asked to find the product of a minus b, a plus b, and x plus 2 times x minus 2, and 2x minus 3, and 2x plus 3. So I want you to pause the video and try to answer the three given here. Find the product. So if you notice, it's either you will use distributive property, the basic way of finding the product, or you can use a special product. So you will notice something in the given. So what is that? You will notice that the first terms are the same, the second terms are the same. Okay? And the only difference between the two binomials provided to you is the minus and the plus. That's the same here in our second given, x as first terms, and same as 2. Then it's just that the difference between the two binomials is the plus and the minus. Same here, the first terms are 2x and 2x, then 3 and 3. And the only difference is minus and plus. So if you notice, you can actually use a special product, which is what we call the product of sum and difference of two terms. So according to this special product, kung hindi kayo nag-distributive property, so kahit 5 seconds or 10 seconds na makukuha niyo yung sagot. All you need to do is to get the square of the first term, which is a. So that means that would give us a squared. And then yung second term nila, which is b, so b squared. Kumbaga, isa-square mo lang yung second. Then, always minus yung sa gitna. Okay, how about the other one? This one. Second given, pareho sila ng first term, x. Pareho din sila ng second term, 2. Magkaiba lang sila sa plus at saka minus. So, get the square of x. First term, x squared. The second term, 2, which is 2 squared, so 4. And always minus sa gitna. And lastly, the third given, pareho sila ng 2x. Pareho din sila second term, 3. Magkaiba lang sa minus at saka plus. So, 2x, kunin mo lang yung square ng 2x. Always minus. At kunin mo yung square ng second term. So, 3 squared. So, ano ba yung square ng 2x? So, 2x times 2x, 4x squared, minus 3 squared is 9. Now, what if we are asked to find the factor of the following? So, what is the factor of a squared minus b squared? X squared minus 4 and 4x squared minus 9. Ito yung sagot natin. Pause this video and try to answer it in your own notebook before you proceed. Okay, very good. Remember that factoring is just the reverse of finding the product. And Actually, a squared minus b squared is our answer a while ago in our first set of problems. In other words, it's just the reverse. So the answer here is a minus b as a quantity of a plus b. Si x squared minus 4 andito din. So, vanilla product, then reverse lang. So, yung sagot dito, yung binigay x squared minus 4, so x plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 2. For x squared minus 9, this is the product process. And the reverse, that means 2x minus 3 times the quantity of 2x plus 2. Here you go. But the question is, may shortcut din ba kapag nagpa-factor tayo? Paano natin malalaman kung makukuha yung sagot? Well, this is where I will be asking you to make an observation. Figure out the pattern. What could be the situation here? And how do we get the answer right away? Even if we're just given with 10 seconds as a time limit. Okay, very good. So nakikita natin, okay, sa given natin dito, you will notice that all of them are two terms, right? Two terms. Yun yung ating manonotice. Yung pangalawang manonotice natin, okay, yung first terms, lahat sila perfect squares. Makakaisip tayo ng isang variable, if we multiply it with itself, you'll get the result. Example, a squared. You can think of an a. Multiply with itself, a times a, you can get a squared. So for 4, you can think of a 2, 2 times 2, so you'll get a 4. So 4 is a perfect square. So the first term is a perfect square. What else? Okay, how about the second terms? These are also perfect squares. So in other words, okay, we can already identify a pattern based from them. That's what we call difference of two squares. Okay. Kaya bakit naging difference of two squares siya? Difference because it's always minus. So hindi pa rin plus. Two squares kasi may dalawang term na yung first term at saka second term, they're both perfect squares. Yan. Kaya tinawag siyang difference of two squares. Okay? So, yung first term, again na, ulit. Two terms lang siya. Minus palagi yung gitna. First term sa perfect square, second term sa perfect square. So, kapag pinapahanap sa atin yung factor, paano naman natin malalaman agad yung sagot? So, please remember, there are two binomials as a result. Okay? Placed in different parentheses. Yung first term nila, square root ng first term dito. So, the square root of a squared is just a. Kaya, lagay mo a sa lahat. Ano naman, second term. So, kung mo lang yung square root ng second term, ilalagay mo siya as second term for each binomial. Then, just opposite, plus then minus. So, there you go. That's the shortcut. So, for example, 4x squared minus 9. The square root of 4x squared is 2x. So, naglagay tayo ng 2x dito sa dalawa. Second term naman 9, square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 3. 3 times 3 kasi siya. So, nalagay mo din 3 and 3 sa dalawang, sa second term na. Then, opposite lang, minus or plus. Pwede mabaliktad. Wala naman problem. Pwede plus yung una, pero minus yung partner niya. Hindi pwede magkapareho. Now, let's try to apply. So, we have here example 1. Let's begin by identifying first whether we can apply dots as a method. So in A, we have 4x squared minus 9y squared. Okay, yes or no? And the answer is yes. Yes. First, minus. Second, two terms. Sunod, okay, 4x squared is a perfect square because that's 2 times 2 and x times x. For 9y squared, 9 is 3 times 3, y is y times y. So, di ba, nakakaisip ka ng isa, in which if you multiply it by itself, it will result to the given. You think of a 3, multiply it by itself, 3 times 3, you'll get the 9. So, that's a yes. 25 plus x squared. The answer is no. Bakit no? Because from the name itself, difference of two squares, it must be difference. However, this is plus. So the answer is no. Letter C. Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, why is it that this is a yes? Because if you notice, okay, minus. Okay, check. Dalawang terms. Okay, check. First term ba, perfect square. 49x squared by squared. Oo, kasi 49, 49 is 7 times 7. X is x times x. Y is y times y. Okay, so check na check. So how about z to the power 4? Okay, you can think of z squared. You can multiply z squared by itself twice. Z squared times z squared is z to the power 4. So, pareho sila, di ba? Identical. So, yes, first perfect square is the first term, perfect square is the second term, minus. So this, therefore, you can factor this out using dots. Okay, now let's proceed to example 2. This time we are asked to factor each polynomial. So let's start with A, 36 minus x squared. So before you decide, always consider first the first term. Kung may common factor ba? May common factor ba si 36 at si x squared? Okay. Kung gusto nyo talagang malaman, 36 is just 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. Kasi 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 3, 6. 6 times 6, 36, diba? And then x squared is just x times x. May common ba? Wala. So kung wala, proceed ka na sa step 2. Ilang terms ba ang binigay sa'yo? First term, second term. So 2 terms. Okay. Yung option, you have dots or SDTC. So for now, so let's check whether it's factorable by dots. So 2 terms, we check. Minus ba? Check din. First term, perfect square ba? Yes, kasi 36 is 6 times 6. The x squared, second term, perfect square ba? X times x. Okay, so check. So meaning factorable si 36 minus x squared using dots. So yung gagawin lang, dalawang binomial. Yung first term, square root ng 36. Ano bang square root ng 36? 6. So, lagyan nyo ng 6 first terms. Second term naman, x squared. Ano yung square root ng x squared? X din. So, lagay mo x sa second terms. Then, minus or minus plus na lang sa gitna. Perhaps, plus dito, then minus. That's the answer. How about in B? Now, I will tell you right away that there's no common factor. So, as is lang yan. So, you can verify, you can continue with step 2 by identifying number of terms. So, may dalawang terms. Ang option mo, dots or SDTC. So, gamitin natin dito, tingnan natin kung magagamit na si dots. So, 39a squared, 39a squared is 7 times 7 times 8 times 8. Habang si Second term, 64b squared. That would be 8. E squared is b times b. So check, then check din naman. So ibig sabihin, factorable by dots. So yung sagot natin, dalawang binomial, yung first term, yung square root ng 49a squared. So square root of 49, 7. So 7, 7. Square root ng a squared, so isang a. Then, second term, square root ng 64 is 8. 8, 8 sa dalawa. Square root ng b squared is b, bb. Then, kaya na bahala, plus, minus, na lang sa 8. So, minus, plus. There you go. Okay. Lastly, x to the power 4 minus 1. So, may common factor ba yung first term at saka second term? Wala. Ngayon, check mo na lang kung factorable by dots kasi dalawang terms na, di ba? So, it's either dots or SDTC. So, for now, dots. Say, minus, so check. Say, x to the power 4, makakaisip ka ng isa na hindi i-multiply by itself and magre-result ng x to the power 4? Yes, meron. Squared. Third times x squared, x to the power 4 yan. And second term 1, of course, 1 times 1. So, mag-factor siya using dots. Yung sagot natin, dalawang binomial. Square root ng x to the power 4 is x squared. So, lagay ka ng x squared sa first term. Then, 1 sa dulo. Second term. So, plus yung isa minus. Okay, let's have example 3. So, still, the instruction is to factor. So, una, we have 2x squared minus 2y squared. Okay, don't forget, step 1 tayo palagi. Finding the common factor, the GCF. Okay? May common factor ba si 2x squared at saka si 2y squared? Meron. Ano ba yung common factor nila? Pareho silang may 2. So, kung 2 yung may 2 tayo na ilalabas, we factor out the 2. That means, we just divide, di ba yung step 1 natin, find the GCF, which is 2. Shortcut na tayo ha. GCF is 2, then we divide each terms by the GCF 2. So, parang lumalabas na 2x squared divided by 2 minus 2y squared divided by GCF. So, 2 divided by 2, yung matitira is x squared. Minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, yung matitira y squared. So, y squared. Okay. Afterwards, okay, kung titingnan ninyo, huwag muna magpakampante. Look at the ones inside the parentheses. That's x squared minus y squared. So, you reflect again. Kung mapafactor ko siya ulit. Factor out ba? Yes, so factor out. Kasi, di ba, may dalawang term. Identify the number of terms in step 2. If there are 2 terms, either dots or SDTC. So, for now, check natin kung pwede si dots. Minus. So, check. Perfect square ba si x squared? Yes. Perfect square ba si y squared? Yes. So, therefore, you can still factor this using dots. So, kanina, CMF yung unang ginamit natin. Let's mag-dots tayo. So, paano kami si dots? Dalawang parentheses. Yung first term, square root ng x squared. So, xx dito. Second term, square root ng y squared. So, y1. Then, opposite na lang. Plus and minus. There you go. This is the answer. Okay, let's proceed with B. So, 50 a squared minus 18 c squared. So, find the CMF first. Okay, CMF ba? Yan ba yung CMF nila? Okay, si 50 at saka si 80 parehas na may 2. So you factor up the 2. Simple as that. So i-divide mo yung each term sa 2 sa GCF natin. Okay, hindi pwedeng A ha. Walang A sa second. Hindi pwedeng C. We don't have C in the first term. So yung GCF lang talaga, 2 lang talaga. Kung i-extract mo si 2, so 50 divided by 2, 25 na lang. 18 divided by 2, 19. Ano nangyayari sa C squared? Ay, sorry. 18 is 9. Now, maka-factor out pa ba natin yung nasa loob? 25a squared minus 9c? Okay, the answer is yes, pwede pa. So, bakit pwede pa? Kasi, there are 2 terms left. And then, okay, there are 2 terms left. Minus, is 25a squared a perfect square? Yes. Is 9c squared a perfect square? Yes din. So, pwedeng dots. So, paano gamitin si dots? So, 2 times, okay, may dalawang binomial na need nating isulat. Okay, ano ba yung square root ng 25a squared? So, that would be 5a. So, 5a yung mga first term na. Next is to find the square root of 9c squared, the second term. Square root of 9c squared is 3c. So, 3c in both. Then, opposite side. Okay, let's have C now. C naman, yung binigay sa atin is x to the power 5 minus xy to the power 4. So, unang gagawin, maghanap ka ng GCF. Yung GCF nila, pareho silang may x. So, isang x lang yung malalabas natin kasi isa lang yung x sa second term. So, kapag kukunin natin yung isang x sa x to the power 5, 4 na lang yung matitira. Minus, kinuha na natin yung isang x dito kasi di ba nilabas natin factor. Matitira y to the power 4. Okay. So, in advance, yung sagot dito, this is factorable by dots. So, that's x squared minus y squared. Then, x squared plus y squared. Okay. Teka na. Ito pause. Yung x, wala natin magagawa. X squared plus y squared, wala natin din magagawa. Kaya no, yung x squared minus y squared, may magagawa pa tayo dito. So, ano ba yung pwede natin gawin? Pareho din, mag-deduct ulit tayo. Bakit magagamit si dots? Kasi may dalawang term. Minus yung gitna. Then, pagkatapos, perfect square sa first term. X squared is x times x. Perfect square din si y squared, y times y. Paano tayo mag-dots? Ibig sabihin, hindi pa tapos. So, x times x squared minus y sa dalawang polynomial. Square ng x squared, so pare silang x. Square ng y squared is y. So, y yung second. Then, opposite sign, plus, minus. Opposite operation sa inyo. Huwag kalimutan, hindi natin ginalang sa x squared plus y squared. Kasi nga, hindi yan dots. Hindi siya minus. Final answer. So, di ba? It makes sense kung bakit sa steps na ating factor, yung pinaka-last step 3 is to recheck once more if we can still factor or not anymore. Okay, so for next course, so second term natin tapos kung binomial, may SDTC. So that will be the next video. Thank you so much.